Okay, I'm gonna tell you a little funny story. Operator error again. We were at Ortega Lock and we called on the radio. We said we'd like to go through. They said it'll be a couple hours. We got a diver in the water. So I don't know if you can see over there, but there's a dive flag. It sounds like I hear water, so maybe they're trying to get the lock working. But so we decided a couple hours. There's some dolphins over here. Let me show you the dolphins. So that's Gaspar. We've been behind them since we left La Belle. So there's dolphins over there. So we went over to the dolphins right behind them. We put a line on the bow, and the wind and the current are going that way. So we thought, or I thought, maybe we'll stay right in between and we won't have to put a stern line out. Well, the wind kind of blew us in towards the bushes, and I said, no, this isn't working. So I told Michelle, I said, let's just anchor. So we came over here to anchor, and when you drive twin engines, you don't even use the, when you're moving around, you don't even need to use the wheel. You just use the two engines, forward, reverse, and you can spin it around. So we got over here, and I kept looking at my rudder control position here. Let's see where it says 000. Well, it was all the way over to port like this. And I kept turning the wheel, and it wouldn't go to starboard. And I thought, oh man, when we got in those bushes, I hooked onto the rudder with something, broke my rudder. So I went down below. Behind the bed is our steering. And the rudder was all the way over there to port. I was like, what's going on? I thought I broke something. And then this is the autopilot. That's a little motor, and it pumps fluid. And all of a sudden I heard it going zzz, zzz, zzz. And I was like, oh, the autopilot's on. So the autopilot was actually still on. I forgot to disengage it. So the autopilot was trying to keep me in the middle of this canal. So it was steering the boat to the port. And I was driving with the engines, doing my whole thing over there, and then coming up to the middle to anchor. So the whole time I was doing it, the autopilot was trying to steer me over here. And I would try to turn this, and it didn't do anything because the autopilot was still engaged. So all I did was come up and hit standby, turn the autopilot off, and now our rudder works again. So, operator error. I'm sure nobody else has done that before. Forgot to disengage the autopilot and then started driving around. But, that's me.